I'm just going to be really honest with you. We're 9 months into the year, and if you still haven't hit your fat loss goals, maybe it's time to change something. Maybe it's not time to be the way you've been all year, having that balanced approach. When you go on social media nowadays, you see so many coaches encouraging that balanced approach of, still go out and eat your favourite foods, still go out and drink alcohol and get fucked up and still make progress. Just get on back on track the next day. There's a lot of sort of balanced behaviour out there now, and a lot of it is correct. A lot of it will help you for the long term. But I feel like we've lost our edge a little bit. And I feel like we all encourage fat loss to be so easy nowadays, and you can still go out with your friends and enjoy yourself, and you'll lose weight, just stick to the long-term goal. But when you look at it, we're in September now, and this is the point of the year now where you might look at it and go, I've been doing this all year and I'm still not where I want to be. So it's all good going on social media and everyone's saying, take your time with it. It's a long-term process, and it is. And you've probably learned a lot this year about your physique and where you want to be. The fact of the matter is, you're in September and you're still not where you want to be. So it's time to take a bit of a different approach. And I encourage everyone for the last 3 or 4 months of this year to completely lock into your fitness as much as you can, that is. Obviously, you have other responsibilities. You probably have a job. You're probably looking for a job if you haven't got a job. Probably got a family, you've got friends, you've got other things you've got to focus on in life. But if your fitness is taking up 10% of your life right now or 20% of your life, maybe you need to increase that and make it more of a priority. And not just your fitness, but also that involves diet too, work on your mindset, self-development. If it's only a small portion of your life, maybe it's time to elevate it and make it more of a priority and really lock into your fitness the next 3 or 4 months. So what are some common mistakes that a lot of guys make? Taking this balanced approach is weekends, and over-consuming calories, taking on too many social events. You've been on it in the week, Monday to Friday, eating pretty clean. You're working long hours. You're too busy to eat shit. You're too busy to sit in your emotions and emotionally eat. You might have a structure down. You might have a gym routine down in the week. I think you should bang on track, keeps you bang on track throughout the week. You get to the weekend and all your structure goes out the window. You haven't got to get up early for work. You're not working long days. You've got so much time on your hands. You're probably quite bored. And a lot of us love food. I love when people go, I just can't help it, I'm a foodie. It's like, yeah, I'm a foodie too. It's not the fact you love food. We all love food. It's fucking... Human beings need food to function. You just love shit food. That's your issue. You love calorie-dense foods. And when you get to the weekend, it's so easy to want to grab those foods because you have no structure and you're bored and you just want that dopamine, so you want to grab that because it gives you so much dopamine. It feels so good. But you need to start trying to get dopamine from nicer foods. But anyway, people think fat loss should be easy, and they think they should be able to live the same lifestyle and get the same results. And it doesn't work like that. Something's got to change. Right, we have this thing now on social media, like I just said a minute ago, where it's fat loss is easy and it's not hard. Anything worth doing, anything that's a big goal is going to be fucking hard. Don't matter whether it's building a business, whether it's getting a 6-pack, whether it's running a sub 20-minute 5K. Anything that is hard is not easy. All right. Even if you take a weight loss jab now, you still have a process to get through to get to where you want to be. And guess what? Guess what's harder than getting in shape? Staying in shape. Because guess what? It might take you 6 months to get in the best shape of your life, right? If you're really committed to it. But you're probably going to be on the planet for another 30, 40, 50 years. So good luck sustaining it. That's the hard part. So these are some mistakes people make. Thinking that it's easy, being on it in the week and then blowing it at the weekends, and trying to balance too many social events at once is a big one too. Social events are the thing that's going to drag you off track. You're going out with your mates who don't have fat loss goals. You're going out with the missus and she's like trying to make you eat all the shit you don't need to eat. Or even if you're a female watching this, maybe your male partner does. I've got a couple of female clients still from the personal training days, came over to online coaching, and a lot of the time their husband is the fucking problem. Like, why are you trying to keep your missus overweight? Anyway, different fucking video. But I noticed this when I did a photo shoot prep with my clients. The 3 guys that did with me, obviously for 3 months straight, they weren't really doing anything that social. One guy was, and he probably dropped the least fat out of everyone. And it's like, you have to lock in for these periods if you really want to get in shape. But if you ever want to be in great shape for the rest of your life, you have to get past this first hurdle first, just get in shape to begin with, right? Which sounds obvious, but people aren't willing to sacrifice this a bit to be able to then find a sustainable method to maintain their physique for the long term. So if you just make this a priority to get the next 10, 20 kilograms off, it becomes a completely different game after that. It's about how you maintain it. But you have to beat this first boss first. And that might look like locking in for the next 3 or 4 months. So what does locking in actually look like? cutting back on the nights out is a big one. You can't be going out, getting back at 1, 2 a.m. and trying to lose 10, 20 kilograms and get lean, get ripped, get muscular. Good fucking luck, not just for recovery purposes, but we all know when you get in from late nights, your nutrition's going to go off over the next day or on the night when you get back. So cutting back on the nights out, being smarter with food choices when you're socializing. So a lot of the time it's, if you know your friends are going to some buffet or beer festival, it's not going to align with your goals, sit it out. It isn't worth going to it. And you might go, really? I thought you're supposed to encourage people to still live their life and lose body fat. I want you to get results, and you're not going to get results doing this stuff. So you have to figure out whether it's really even worth it to you if you're not willing to miss these things. All right? If you're in a process of growth, you have to sacrifice. And it's not about necessarily going complete ghost mode for 3 months. You could if you really wanted to. You definitely could if you like going for a break or something, or you just like lost your job and you have to really lock in and focus. I've been there before myself. But for the most part, like, you've probably got some stuff coming up next 3 months. You're not going to be that guy who says, I can't go to my brother's wedding because I'm on a fat loss journey. I can't go to my nan's funeral because I'm on a fat loss journey and it's going to be a buffet there. You can't be that guy who, I don't know, it's your best friend's birthday of 20 years, right? And it's his birthday, you're going to miss it. Like, you're probably not going to miss those things, right? I think what's really important is to get clear about what's important and to communicate it to the people around you as well if they're willing to support you, and let them know that you're going through a growth period and you might be sitting out a few things. I did it at the start of this year when I was losing 23 kilograms for my photo shoot, and I'm still friends with the people now. It's not the end of the world. People don't really care. They live their own lives. And if they really do care, and if they're angry at you for trying to improve yourself, reevaluate. You have to reevaluate who you hang around with. But anyway, that's for a different video. So what does it look like completely locking in? It's about picking the right social events that are really important and trying to prepare in the long term too. Like, when I was on my prep, people just knew not to invite me to stuff. I'm not going to turn up. But it took me to, first of all, communicate that, or if I didn't communicate it, just set the standard for myself and say I'm not going to this stuff. And you'll find as well for your fat loss journey, you can be more flexible with how many social events you go to at the start compared to at the end. So for the next 3 months, you might start off like easing back out of summer, go to a few things still, but you might really go into a mode where you lock in for the next 3 months and you don't go to anything, right? Sacrifice is choosing fewer nights out so you can hit your goal. Like, suffering is staying stuck and unhappy with your body, but pretend you're enjoying life. Well, where would you rather be? Do you know what I mean? At these social events, miserable about how you look and having a bit of short-term happiness for a lot of long-term misery, or just taking the hit for the next 3 months and then being able to enjoy that stuff later on down the line. You're always going to have to balance it to a degree, but it's going to be a hell of a lot easier if you just lock in for the next 3 months. Don't go to a lot of these events, and then you can enjoy them later on down the line. So you've got two options, really. You either don't go to any social events and you just go to the ones that are really, really important, or you try and go and you try and get some sort of strategy down where you're not over-consuming calories, drinking too much, eating shit. And in my honest opinion, option A is the best one. Just saying no to these things. If you don't need to go to the event, don't go to it. How serious are you about your goals? If you want to lose a couple kilograms and be a little bit leaner and just feel a little bit better about yourself, all right, you can get away with going there. Going to the event. If you want to lose 10, 20 kilograms, get in the best shape of your life, something has got to change. You have to start saying no to these things. And guess what? Here's the best thing. They'll be there next year. You'll have a different event next year, which is similar. Or the same thing. All right? Steve's birthday next year as well, not just this year. So get really clear about which ones you're going to go to, or don't go to any of them. And if you are going to go to these social events, you have to figure out a strategy that's going to keep you on track. But I guarantee you, if you go through a season of no, if you go through a season and say, I'm not going to do these things, I'm not going to go and get fucked up, I'm not going to go and eat all that shit, all right? You'll be in a much better place. Now, I'm pretty good at like not seeing anyone for 3 months and being completely happy, all right? But I'm a bit of a psychopath. You might not be like me. If you feel like you have to see that friend and you feel like you have to go and see your sister, but you know there's going to be food and drink involved, you have to communicate that you're on a weight loss journey and they need to support you during this time. So I would definitely go and say to these people, like, look, I do want to see you, but I'm going for a fat loss journey. Can we not do dinner? Can we get coffee instead? If you've got a mate and you're like, look, I'm on a fat loss journey. Do you want if we just go for a walk, or we go for a run together, or we go to the gym? You know, if they're not into their fitness, maybe try and go for a walk, grab coffee. But you've got to try and stray away from these environments where you're going to get fucked up. where you're going to eat loads of shit. And if you've got a friend who is not someone you can just go for a coffee with or go for a walk, first of all, reevaluate friendship. But if you really love them to bits, or I know your boy, or you've known them for years, you might have to just not see them for a couple of months, all right? And you might think, that's impossible. I didn't see any of my friends for 6 months during my fat loss prep, my photo shoot prep. I saw them once on a night out in London Bridge, and I was there for 2 hours, then I left straight away. Because it was that important to me to get this weight off and do it. And part of this is like, it's the reality of sacrifice. And you have to really think like, is this something that's even worth you doing? Because if you keep on doing what you're doing now, trying to get all the social events in, still enjoy your life to the max, you are not going to get in shape. You have to realize that there's going to be some sacrifice during this. Don't let the fitness coaches on Instagram sell you this easy fat loss program. Doesn't happen like that. And it's not fucking realistic, all right? Fat loss requires trade-offs, fewer calories, more movement, less alcohol, and missed social events, which might cause a little bit of misery. But what is your goal in life as a man? Is your goal as a man to be happy, or is it to be strong? Because they're two very different things. A lot of people that are in great shape aren't necessarily happy as people, because they have to sacrifice every single day, every single week to stay in shape. So that's the big discussion you have to have with yourself. What do you want to be? Do you want to be happy, or do you want to be strong? Obviously, you'll have moments where you're going to be happy, but a lot of the time, you're going to have to sacrifice and go for a little bit of a phase where some days you're going to feel like shit. Less calories, having to go out in the rain to get your steps in. These are all part of the process to get in shape. You're not missing out, you're just choosing differently. And if you want to get lean, don't talk to me about balance, Balance comes after discipline. You have to come disciplined before you can come balanced, alright? First you lock in, and then you earn your balance after that, okay? But you have to go through a period. It's like when you see someone trying to grow a business from the start. If you're trying to grow a business, and I'm talking like properly, you have to accept there's going to be phases where you go, I'm not going to these events, these late nights, I have to lock in for 3 months. Why do you think your fat loss is any different? If you're going for a promotion at work, and you have to really lock in for Q3 or Q4 and try and maximize your profits, or try and maximize the sales you make to try and get that promotion, you fucking do it. And why you do it is because you got a wife at home, you got a daughter at home or whatever, and you're trying to provide for them. And also better yourself too. But you've got some sort of why attached to that, and your fat loss is no different, your building muscle is no different. You have to flip it back to why is it important, and ask yourself, do you really care enough about this? So when you're faced with these decisions of do I go to this mental night out, which I'm definitely going to go off track of my goals, or do I want to commit to my future family? Do I want to commit to my future self? Do I want to commit to the person I want to be in 3 months' time? So you have to always have these conversations with yourself. Look, if you would rather go on the nights out, stay in bang average shape and be happier all the time, and live life to the full, go traveling for 3 months and fuck it all off, fine. I'm not here to judge you. You do what you want in your life, but I'm telling you as someone who's in good shape myself, yes, I'm not an Olympian. Yes, I'm not a massive bodybuilder. I'm not super shredded, but I'm in good shape year round. You have to make some sort of sacrifice. You have to have some sort of trade-off and constant conversation with yourself about what choices are correct. I've got someone invited me to a birthday the other day, a friend of mine. He's not a close friend, but he's a friend. And if you watch this, mate, I'm sorry. But he invited me to my birthday, his birthday, not mine. And it's going to be a massive late night. It's miles away. It's going to be a big night out. I've got so many goals I want to achieve the next 3 months. I don't want to go to this event anyway. It doesn't seem like my cup of tea. And I've got big things coming up. All of my mates are going to be there. If I got drunk enough, it'd be a great night. But it's not worth the trade-off for me. I love this game way more. Yes, I'm a coach and that's part of it too. But I love fitness, and I really care about my body. I care about my discipline. I care about how I reflect to my audience on social media. But more importantly, my paying clients too, that put a lot of trust in me to be the best version of myself. But also I want to have standards for myself that I really respect myself too. So, I've got a good quote here actually. You didn't get where you are by coasting, you stayed late, you did the hard work, you made sacrifices, your body deserves the same thing. Good quote. So what are some actionable steps we can do to actually make this happen? Alright? Like I said, you either go all in and you lock in and go ghost mode and completely focus. If that's not realistic for you, if you have client meetings and, your best friend's birthday, your brother's wedding coming up, you've got to pick 2 to 3 social events this month or the next few months that really matter to you and skip the rest of them. You have to upset people. And guess what? They don't really care that much if you're not going to be there. They don't. And if they really kick off at you, they're not your mate. Lock in your training schedule too. Lock in your training schedule like it's a work meeting, because you'll know when you've been on fat loss phases in the past, when is your diet most on track? When you're locked into your training too. I can guarantee you, next week, if I got injured really badly, right, I had to skip training for a few months, that would affect my nutrition definitely. I'd definitely fall off track more. I'd probably have the odd drink more and I'd eat the odd bit of shit more to try and cope with my feelings. Like when your training's not on point, you don't get these micro wins every single day for training, or at least 3 times a week for training. Your diet is a lot easier to fall off track with. So you have to make sure you schedule your training like a work meeting and have it in the diary every single week, and try and have it on the same days too. Some days going to have to move, but try and have it on the same days too, like it's a work meeting. Last one, the one that everyone hates doing, but when you get into a schedule of it, it's so easy. I've been doing this for 10 years now. It just becomes who you are. Track your food at least 6 days a week. I'd say 7, but just for a bit of flexibility, at least 6 days a week, make sure you're tracking your food. Get the data, get it all together. It makes it so much easier. Don't do the guesswork shit. Don't try and cut carbs. Don't do the intermittent fasting. Don't do things that you're going to hate. Fat loss, let me tell you this. Fat loss is hard enough as it is. You're going to have days where, you're in a gym about to train and you feel like it is in the calorie deficit. You're going to have days where you're mentally just fatigued. So all your mates are going out, your partner's going out for a nice meal and you want to do all these things, but you can't because you're locked into the mode. Let me tell you something. Fat loss is hard enough as it is. Getting in shape is hard enough as it is. Don't make it harder for yourself by doing some shitty diet, keto diet, carnivore diet, intermittent fasting, keto diet, cutting carbs, like just eating salad, whatever it might be. Don't go into these extreme methods. Track your food, track your data, and just make it as easy as possible for yourself. Give yourself a bit of flexibility because it's already hard enough as it is, all right? It's simple, but it's not easy. So make it easier for yourself by doing that. So, look, if you've been spinning your wheels all year and you're 9 months into the year, you're still not where you want to be, it's time to make a change. Cut back on what doesn't serve you. You have to audit your last 9 months. Go through each month of the year. Even go through your calendar and look at all the different events that you went to and look at whether it was really worth it. And maybe it was. But maybe you look at the next 3 months and go, I want something different. I want more. And, I did a video yesterday about the improvement season. Give that a quick watch if you want. It's more about me. I'm locking for the next 3 months. Not many social events. I'll probably go to a couple, but very small ones. Because I want to be able to make great progress in my fitness. I want to hit some running PBs. I want to get 4 or 5 kilograms leaner. I'm already pretty lean, but I'd like to get even leaner. And then also bang out the content creation. Do you know what I mean? This is my second YouTube video in 2 days. I want to really start pushing the content more. And I just know from going out, having late nights and, seeing friends in the afternoon sometimes where I should be working, these things get skipped. And it's not forever. This is when you've got to realize, guys, when you go for a season of improvement or a season of saying no to things, it's a season. It's not forever. And sometimes seasons can be longer. Sometimes if you're an athlete, you've got a limited career, your season might be 10 years long of just self-improvement with very small breaks in between. But I guarantee you for the next 3 months, if you can get the body fat off, find a system to make it sustainable for a long term too, get through this season of no, and it'll be so worth it. I promise you. It's not going to be forever. Push yourself harder, commit to the next 12 weeks like they matter, because they do. You don't want to get to the end of this year being in the same spot as you were. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. So your homework after watching this video, it's not even to think about should I do this or should I not? It's to think how important is your fat loss to you? Because that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Is this something that you're willing to sacrifice these things for the next 3 months and really push results and really push hitting the end goal? And if you watch this video and go, you know what, I don't fancy trading anything. If you're not willing to trade anything or sacrifice anything, there's no point in you starting this journey in the first place. And maybe you should wait till next year. Maybe you do need a health scare. Maybe you do need to get dumped by a partner to make it more serious for you. But I'd have a conversation with yourself to see if this is something that is actually worth doing. Because there's no point you committing to cutting all these things out if it's not something that you're serious about, okay? If you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And make sure you pop me a follow on Instagram @JackHamilton_. And I'll see you guys in the next one.